Hello and welcome to CENOS 2.0 version introduction video. In this video we will go over the main changes in CENOS functionality, we will see what's new and learn how to use it. In the new version we have reworked the geometry creation approaches and divided them into three parts. The first approach, templates, remains the same as it was in the previous versions. You can choose from pre-made workpiece and inductor templates to quickly create a 2D axial symmetric geometries. To ease the simulation setup, CENOS remembers previous template settings, which you only need to adjust for your new applications. The second approach, from CAD, is a new geometry preparation approach. It allows you to create simulation from pre-made CAD without the need to manually modify geometry or create mesh. The third, Advanced Geometry Editor, incorporates all of the previous geometry creation functionality. When you open it, you can see two icons. The Play icon allows you to directly open Salome and create geometry from scratch, while the Folder icon allows you to import one or more CAD files and create geometry and mesh from them just as before. Let's take a look at the new geometry preparation approach from CAD. To use this new geometry creation approach, first I need to select the CAD files with the pre-made geometry. From CAD function allows you to import CAD file with your workpiece, inductor and concentrator directly into CENOS and create domain and boundary groups from an interactive preview window without manual geometry modifications or mesh creations in Salome. You can import one CAD which contains all geometries in it, or you can select multiple CADs which each contains one geometry, such as workpiece or inductor, and import them all together. The first thing you need to specify is air domain. For full geometries, air domain creation beforehand is not obligatory, as you can do it automatically in CENOS. To generate air domain automatically, you only need to define inductor terminals, and CENOS will automatically generate air box of optimal size around your geometry. Be aware that automatic air domain can only be generated around full geometries, meaning for symmetry cases such as halves and slices, you need to create air beforehand and import it together with the rest of geometry. Now CENOS has created the airbox and you can start geometry preparation. You can access all volumes and surfaces from the list here on the right side or directly from the screen. All volumes and surfaces already have assigned names, such as Volume 2, which if we switch to physics set apart, we would see as valid domains and boundaries. Because these assigned names do not represent the groups behind them, we can rename and group volumes and surfaces to better distinguish them later in physics setup. The domain selection is rather intuitive, either from the list here or from the screen by holding Shift. You can select domains of your interest. You can merge them into one domain to ease the physics definition and rename to distinguish them from other groups. When domain has been renamed and prepared, you can go into boundaries to merge and rename boundary surfaces of the specific domain. Let's go into workpiece geometry. As you can see, there are many separate faces, which you can either select all or each separately. And merge and rename them just as you did with volume domains. After domains and boundaries have been defined, all that is left to do is to choose the role of each domain. By doing this, CENOS will automatically define the type of analysis and domain type needed for each volume, which will ease the physics set apart. As you can see, the analysis and domain type has already been automatically defined. Some of you may notice that CENOS does not show all boundary surfaces in the physics part. If you define the role of each domain, interface surfaces for every domain except workpiece will be automatically hidden to ease the physical setup part. To access all boundary surfaces to, for example, use surface impedance domain, turn on Show Interface Boundaries here. If the geometry is too complex and the mesh cannot be automatically generated, or if you want to adjust the mesh generated for your geometry to, for example, decrease the element count, you can always go into Salome and modify the mesh manually. You can do that by clicking Show Mesh Options here. Under Advanced Settings, you can open Salome by clicking Open Advanced Editor, but right now Salome would open only geometry without mesh. If you do not want to build the mesh yourself, but only adjust it, you first need to generate it. And you can do it by setting up Physics Setup, coming back here and clicking Create Automatic Mesh now. Physics definitions are needed for CENOS to know how small of a skin layer to create for automatic mesh. Then, if you click Open Advanced Editor, Salome will automatically generate a mesh and it will open and you will be able to tinker with it. This was the review for CENOS 2.0 version's new functionality. For bug report or suggestions for the improvements, please contact CENOS team. Thanks for watching.